Okay, this week we will be exploring the 3 notes per string scales. If you watch the video on the analysis of the mechanics of metal, that's where I encountered 3 notes per string scales for the first time in my life, back in the early 90s. Nonetheless, they contain basically 3 notes per string. So there are benefits to learning the 3 notes per string scales. Number one is basically speed, and if you want to sweep pick some of these scales, if you want to use sweep picking, 3 notes per string facilitates that. Also, you can group the string in groups of 6 notes or 3 notes on each string. Say for instance, you want to do something like that. Okay, so 3 notes per string has gotten a bad rap in the past, right? People are saying why they don't want to learn 3 notes per string and all that's not efficient and all that. It gives that 70 sound. Well, whatever it is, I suppose there's nothing stopping you from learning all of the scale patterns. We've covered the basic scale patterns. Now we're going to go into 3 notes per string because there are certain things from the 3 notes per string that I think you can benefit from. Right, so for instance, something like this. You want to do your legato-ish kind of lines. You can't really do that with your basic scale patterns. So here we go. Again, this video just introduces what the scale patterns are for the 3 notes per string, of which there are 7. I will probably do another separate video exploring how we can learn them, how we can best learn them, and how we can use them. For the purpose of this lesson, we will be sticking to the key of G major since it starts from over here. And this is pattern 1. So 3 notes per string, pattern 1, key of G. Pattern 1 goes like this. Pattern 2 of your 3 notes per string in key of G, starting on the 5th fret, goes like this. Now the interesting part about 3 notes per string, it essentially combines 2 of your basic scale patterns. So now this concept repeats itself with every one of these 7 3 notes per string patterns. Let's move on to the next one. Pattern 3 of your 3 notes per string or your extended scale pattern, right? So this one is your Phrygian shape. Beginning on the 7th fret, goes like this. You notice again, similarly, the bottom structure of your 3 note of your Phrygian extended shape is consistent with your basic scale pattern, but then the upper structure, right, this is from the next scale pattern, which you have to amend to get your 3 notes per string. Moving on. Pattern 4, starting on the 8th fret. That is your Lydian scale shape. The easiest way to learn pattern 4 of your 3 notes per string is to start off with what you already know, which is your Mixolydian scale shape, right on the 10th fret. But just add an additional note, which is a whole step below your lowest note, and that will make it your Lydian shape. At this point, I must clarify the learning of these scale shapes in terms of the mode names has nothing to do so much with how we apply modes. Okay, that is a different topic altogether. This system just basically gives a name, so it makes it easier to categorize what these scale shapes are. So pattern 4 as your Lydian extended scale shape, right? So it's consistent with your, I guess, your modal naming system, but not so much how you use it. Pattern 5 of your major scale in key of G, starting on the 10th fret, goes like this. The easiest way to remember pattern 5, right, in the upper structure of pattern 5 3 notes per string is the same as your Aeolian shape, or in this case your minor scale, right? At the 12th fret. But then you're adding 3 notes per string on the bottom 3 strings that follow the same fret. Then you go into your minor scale shape. Pattern 6, 3 notes per string or extended scale shape in key of G, starting on the 12th fret, goes like this. Another commentary about extended scale shapes or 3 notes per string, sometimes you can group the strings into groups of 2 strings, and they will have the exact same, I guess, fingering. And then the next 2 strings might have, again, exact same fingerings, but within those 2 strings itself. And then maybe you might have a different one on your third group of 2 strings, right? That's the second way to look at it. The other way is maybe you can group them according to 3 strings, and then you can see the fingering similarities over there. Pattern 7 of your 3 notes per string, starting on the 14th fret, goes like this. So after pattern 7 of your 3 note per string or extended scale pattern, you can repeat pattern 1 again 1 octave higher, like this. Just like your basic scale patterns, your 3 note per string extended scale patterns can be transposed by shifting the entire scale fingering to another location. In this lesson, we started in the key of G major, which is on the 3rd fret, so your root note was G. if we had transposed this to a different note, say on A note on the 5th fret, and we apply pattern 1 extended or 3 note per string there, that would make it your A major scale, and all of your 7 3 notes per string patterns series will actually be consistent for pattern 1 and your Dorian, your Phrygian, or pattern 2, pattern 3, right? So it's still maintain that order. If we were to apply it to the C note on the 9th fret, 8th fret, sorry, then you get the C major scale. And you can tell this by the sound of Do, Re, Mi. Okay, that's how you transpose 3 notes per string scale patterns. That's it for this week's lesson, guys. I will do a follow-up video on how to use these 3 notes per string scale patterns in the coming few weeks. We will also begin to explore the 3 notes per string harmonic minor as well as the melodic minor as we progress. Now, just a little, I guess, disclaimer. Sometimes people find learning of the scales too, I guess, daunting, intimidating, right? I think that's usually because you get, I guess, scale fatigue, right? The problem with learning scales, again, sometimes all you end up doing just going up and down, right? That will result in your playing becoming very scalar. That means when you're soloing, you also just be playing up and down. That's not what you want. Scales, think of scales as, again, your alphabets, right? When you're playing music, you want to be creating words and phrases. So you're not going to be spewing out the alphabet when you're talking. Similarly, you're not just going to be playing scales, but it's what you can use with the scales to form your words, your phrases, so that you can make music. And we'll explore some of this in separate videos and maybe in some of just Patreon content only. If you like what I do and you want to support me, please head over to my Patreon page. You can sign up there and gain access to some of the Patreon only content. Well, I hope you enjoyed this lesson. I will be seeing you in the next one on the 3 notes per string harmonic minor scale. Till then.